One-point linear perspective. A method of representing 3D space on a 2D surface by delineating a horizon line and multiple orthogonal lines leading up to said horizon line. Trinity with the Virgin, Saint John the Evangelist and Donars was the first example of this. Typology. The study of symbolic types of representation in art history, especially of Old Testament events of the Bible as they prefigure those of the New Testament. Glazing. A technique particularly used with oil mediums in which a transparent layer of paint is laid over another, usually lighter, painted, laid area. Polyptych. And altarpiece constructed from multiple panels, sometimes with hinges to allow for movable wings. Engraving. A printmaking process of inscribing an image, design, or letters onto a metal or wood surface form, which a print is made. Oculus. A circular opening, usually found either as windows or at the apex of a dome. Buon fresco. A truer white fresco. Pigments are mixed with water and become chemically bound to the freshly laid lime plaster. Examples of this type of fresco include Tribute Money and Trinity. Fresco secco. A technique where tempera is applied to plaster that has been allowed to dry first. Putti. A divine creature in the form of a plump, naked little boy, often with wings, called a cupid or cherub in classical art. Stigmata. Marks resembling the wounds of Christ, said to appear on the bodies of certain holy persons. Trecento. Term used to describe the style of the 1300s. Grisalle Technique. A technique in which people were painted in different shades of gray. Persons often looked like sculptures as a result, seen in the Ghent altarpiece. Medici. This family often patronized works during the early Renaissance and were the primary ruling family in Florence. Florentine Painting. Style of painting that used large-scale panels that stood on their own, usually were frescoes or used tempera. Giotto. This artist launched the Italian Renaissance by painting people who appeared 3D rather than flat. Sienese Painting. style of painting that was more decorative and reminiscent of Northern European art. Figures were thinner, elegant, and courtly. Drapery was less defined and more flowing like ripples. Figures were more in proportion to each other versus hierarchical ordering, imitated marble patterning on thrones or pavements. Venetian oil painting. Style of oil painting that was painted on both panel and canvas. Art scene was dominated by two brothers, Gentile and Bellini. Giovanni featured radical foreshortening and a low vanishing point. Nature, luminous color, detailed realism, and symbolism were all similar to Flemish works. (1450). Need to know date for early Renaissance. Venus Pudica. Term meaning modest Venus pose seen in The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. Flora. This goddess was the goddess of flowers and was depicted in The Birth of Venus twice. She represented spring, rebirth. Coffered ceiling. A type of Greek ceiling that features square and dents, depicted in Trinity by Masaccio. Lapis Lazuli. A semi-precious blue stone used to create blue hues in early Renaissance art such as The Birth of Venus, also used in Bull Lyre of Mesopotamia. Home altarpiece. And altarpiece that depicts domestic settings. Campin. Artist of the Marrowed altarpiece. Brunelleschi. Architect of the dome of the Florence Cathedral. Donatello. Sculptor of Mary Magdalene and a rendition of David that was the first freestanding nude since antiquity. Masaccio. Early Renaissance artist of Trinity, tribute money and expulsion from paradise. Ghiberti. Artist of the Gates of Paradise. Botticelli. Artist of the Birth of Venus. Bellini. Artist of St. Francis and Ecstasy. Petrarch. He is regarded as the father of the Renaissance writer, poet, patron of Greco-Roman literature. He lost several family members due to the plague.